Lies crumble, but the scars don't fade. You don't want to hear it, don't want to know. Your comfort's a cage, afraid to let it go. Rip the veil, break the chain, shout the truth, feel the pain. Nonconformist flash, we burn the lies, tear the mask off, see through the disguise. Nonconformist flash, the edge we ride, too raw for the weak, truth amplified. Jeff cannot see with the fire in his veins. Words like bullets shattering the chains. Your blindfold slipping, the light creeps in. This ain't for the faint, this is where we begin. Stand and face it, no escape. Truth uncaged, no time to wait. Nonconformist friends, we burn the lies, tear the mask off, see through the disguise. Nonconformist friends, the edge we ride, too raw for the weak, truth amplified. Truth amplified. Truth amplified. Truth amplified. Nonconformist phrase, we burn the lies, tear the mask off, see through the disguise. Nonconformist phrase, the edge we ride, too raw for the weak, truth amplified. Truth amplified.
Hey, welcome to the Nonconformist Fringe Podcast. I am your host, Jeff Canarsie. I've seen it all now. I really, really have. Seriously, listen, a lot of people know. I have been trying to get the hell away from the mob genre shit, and I have. But in taking a month pretty much away from the mob content, or at least abandoning it completely on YouTube, I took time, I sat back, and I watched the proverbial shit show that is YouTube. I've always been outspoken, always been a nonconformist, and I don't apologize for being who I am. And none of you know me. Let's just get that straight. A few do, but the majority have no idea. I've seen a lot of things I don't like. I've been on the offensive end of that. I've been on the defensive end of that. But there reaches a point when you've seen enough, heard enough, watched enough, and I'm right there. And I'm standing right in the middle of the road with a Roman candle pointed at most of you. The who doesn't really matter, because that list is actually longer than you might expect. And it took an incident to make me see the entirety of what this is and what it's become. And the truth is, we have associations on YouTube, not friendships. And let me be frank, I don't care what any of you fucking think about me. this show, or really anything. I live in reality, not some warped version of a pseudo-cult community that hedges its feelings or ideas or staged outrage on who likes me, who clicks up, thumb yes, thumb down for no. And I don't care about my numbers. I don't care about your feelings unless we know each other well. And then that's a little different. But what I care about is my sanity. And that is something that many of you have lost completely and utterly. And it's not about one person. There's a lot of people. And as I said, this incident that took place, really in the grand scheme of things, is minuscule. It's not that important. But what it did was make me realize that friendships are those you have had your entire life, those you can count on, not the people who want to stifle your thoughts, your feelings, or opinions because they're worried about the ramification of low lives they don't even know on YouTube. And if I worried about losing people I don't even fucking know, then it's time for me to take a trip to Bellevue for a month to analyze my sanity for even caring what the opinions of sheep have to say. When your friendship with anybody is purely based on what you can do for them, or whether or not you toe the line on self-absorbed manufactured outrage or what's popular, and you base your outward statements on what the group thinks or follows, then you have lost who the fuck you are. And that stopped for me last week. I'm done with it. I know who I am, and I know who I'm not. And if I'm treated as someone of value to you based on conforming to your thoughts, your opinions, and your self-absorbed, staged outrage, then really who have I become? A puppet is what we call that. I can assure you, I am nobody's court jester or puppet. I am who I am, and if that gives us common ground, fantastic, great. And if it doesn't, then go fuck yourself, because I don't care one fucking bit. I have been through it all on here, more than most of you. And yet, after everything some of you have done to try to stifle me, I'm still here, still barking. And the truth is, you're my puppet. Because all you do is react to every single thing I do. If I cough, it's on the news. I mean everything. Even when I'm not talking about one specific person. It's amazing. A lot of people like to tag phrase that as passive aggressive. Listen, if I don't like you and I got something to say, I'm going to say your fucking name. Get that clear. I will say your name. And there are people that are on YouTube that will tell you, if I have an issue, I will talk directly about you. I have no problem doing that. But it's amazing because even when I do that, and I'm not talking about one specific person, I'll get a random text from somebody thinking I'm talking about them when I'm actually not. And then I'll get like some kind of pseudo threat. You better not talk about me or else. Bitch, I'm not talking about you to begin with. That tells me more about the people that respond to that than it does anything else. And I think we know by now, like I said earlier, if it's you, I'm going to say your name. I'm not going to hide. I never have. I don't hide my face. I don't hide who I am. But a lot of you do. Front is center is how I like to serve up a steaming pile of brutality. And so this new podcast I'm doing isn't some invention or some new character I have. This is who I am. I think I just allowed myself to go on a trip for a long time. And I think I lost focus on my ideals and my beliefs because it was much easier to just get along with everybody than to fight with morons on YouTube who have no clue who I am or what I've been through. And I'm going to tell you this is a fact. Most of you can't handle a troll talking about you. Never mind the fact that some of you could have never waded in the waters that I have and come out the other end normal or even alive for that matter. And so here we are. So if you're new, click the like, click the subscribe, sit back and enjoy a steaming pile of vulgarity and common sense. And so today we're going to talk about a few things. And we're just going to jump into it because there's stuff that needs to be said. So have you guys ever noticed how everybody's a fucking sheep on YouTube, for the most part. Not everybody, but majority. Everybody's nodding, smiling, liking, sharing, pretending that they've got a mind of their own. When in reality, they're just regurgitating whatever the fucking herd tells them to think. Step out of line? Oh, congratulations, asshole. You're now a freak, a lunatic, and a danger to society. And this is the Nonconformist Fringe podcast where we call bullshit on that shit. And tonight we're talking about nonconformity. About saying fuck you to the rules, the social norms, the invisible chains that everybody else is too scared to break away from. It's about being awake in a world full of sleepwalkers. And yeah, it's dangerous. It's a lonely place. It pisses people off. But it's the only way not to have your brain turned into mush by this shitty, insane world. And let's talk about the real fucking snakes. The real snakes. The digital Judas'S. The ones who smile to your face, who like your posts, who slide into your DMs acting like they give a shit. Meanwhile, they're sharpening their knives to stab you in the fucking back the second your attention slips. That's right, folks. These motherfuckers are everywhere. Every platform, every comment section, every fucking thread of your life online. They'll betray you because it's easier than taking a look at their own miserable fucking pathetic selves. And you thought they were your friend. Surprise, dumbasses. They were waiting to fuck you over from day one. And those are facts. And don't get me started on fucking YouTube. The miracle of human ingenuity, they said. A place to connect. Yeah, connect. Connect straight to anxiety, depression, envy, and full-blown panic attacks. Scroll, click, like, comment, compare, hate yourself, feel worthless, rinse, repeat. It doesn't just fuck with your head. It smashes it, chews it up, shits it back in your fucking mouth, and you eat it because you're addicted to it. You're addicted to the drama of it. The internet just didn't change society. It made everybody batshit fucking crazy. But here's the truth. Being nonconformist, it's a battle. It hurts. People will hate you for how you feel. They'll try to isolate you. They'll throw their digital Judas bullshit in your face. But it's the only way to stay sane when the rest of the world is losing its goddamn mind. You can either blend in, smile at the bullshit, and die a little bit every day, or you can fight, speak your fucking truth, and embrace the chaos of being awake. So tonight we're diving in. The digital Judas'S waiting to betray. The internet turning us all into neurotic maniacs. And what it really means not to give a shit about the herd. This is not going to be a sugarcoating episode. We're not going to tiptoe through the fucking tulips today. And if you want comforting lies, go back to Instagram. But if you want the raw, unfiltered truth, the kind that hits you in the gut, wakes you the fuck up, and maybe saves a little bit of your sanity, then strap the fuck in. Buckle up, because it's going to get ugly. It's not going to get dark. It's going to be brutally honest. And you're on the Nonconformist Fringe podcast, and there is no going back. And so how we're going to begin tonight is with sort of an idea. Nonconformity, or why being a housebroken fucking animal terrifies everybody. Nonconformity. Jesus Christ, people love that word right up until they see it in action. Because the moment you don't nod, you don't clap, you don't chant in the approved chat rooms, people panic like you just took a shit in the middle of their living room. Whoa, what are you doing, Jeff? I'm thinking, well, don't do it here. Nonconformity doesn't mean you're edgy. It means you're inconvenient. It means you didn't read the script, didn't memorize the talking points, didn't get the memo telling you which thoughts are allowed between 9 a.m. and whatever the fuck time society collapses today. People do not want individuals. They want predictable meat. Dress however you want. Fuck whoever you want. Believe me, whatever brand approved bullshit you want. Just don't think outside the lines, because thinking fucks up the rhythm. or in this case, the algorithm. Thinking makes people uncomfortable. Thinking makes the herd realize that they've been walking in fucking circles, jerking each other off. And nobody wants that. See, conformity isn't about the rules. It's about obedience without reflection. It's about shutting off that little annoying voice in your head that says, hey, this doesn't make any goddamn sense. That voice is dangerous. That voice ruins dinner parties. That voice gets you unfollowed. That voice gets people whispering about you like you've got a fucking rash on your crotch. Oh, them? Yeah, they're kind of intense. Intense, the translation of that intensity, they don't swallow bullshit fast enough. Most people don't have beliefs. They have habits. They repeat phrases like trained fucking parrots. They recycle outrage like it's a renewable resource. They borrow morality the way the kids borrow homework, just hoping nobody's going to ask follow-up questions. And if you do ask questions, oh, now you're the asshole. Now you're creating the drama. Now you're negative. Now you're divisive. Now suddenly everybody's concerned about your mental health. You become the lunatic. And it's funny how dissent is always a disorder and obedience is always being reasonable. Do you guys ever notice that? As long as you toe the fucking line with everybody else, you're great. The minute that you speak out against something that's wrong, goddamn you to hell. He's a witch. Burn him. Nonconformists don't break laws. They break comfort. They don't just disagree. They expose the fact that most people never chose their opinions in the first place. And the majority of you don't. You follow the herd. And that's the real crime. Because at the end of the day, conformity is easy. It's lazy. It's safe. You don't have to have a fucking spine. You just need good timing and a head nod. You wait, you watch, and you pretty much behave the way the crowd leans. Then you lean a little harder and call it a conviction. That's not morality. That's cowardice with confidence. And the angriest conformists are always the dumbest. Because they're not defending ideas. They're defending their identity. If they admit that they're wrong, the whole fucking personality collapses like a cheap lawn chair. So they scream, they shame, they signal, they attack. Because attacking is easier than thinking. Nonconformity, on the other hand, it's a lonely place to be. There's no cheering section for you. There's no safety net. No group chat backing you up with emojis and buzzwords. You get silence. You get awkward pauses. And that look that people give you, they give you a look like you just shit your pants during a prayer service. You don't get rewarded for that. You get tolerated, but just barely. And here's the sick joke. Every advance in human history came from people who refused to shut the fuck up. Every one of them was called dangerous, unstable, immoral, insane while they were alive. Then, ironically, after they're dead, quiet, no longer threatening anybody, society digs them up, polishes their bones, and says, see, we love independent thinkers. It's bullshit. You love safe thinkers, packaged thinkers, dead thinkers. Living nonconformists scare all of you because they prove that the rules are only fucking optional. And if the rules are optional, then what the hell have you been obeying all of this time? That's the nightmare. Nonconformity isn't about being contrarian. It's about refusing to lie to yourself just to keep the peace. It's saying, no, I don't buy that. Nope, I don't agree. Nope, I'm not going to play along with that nonsense. Then it costs you your friends, it costs you your comfort, and even costs you the illusion of belonging to anything. And yeah, that can be a brutal thing. You don't get the applause, you get labeled, you don't get praise, you get distance, you don't get acceptance, you get told, why can't you be just normal? Why are you insulting somebody? Why are you being rude? Normal. That word. None of us are normal. But normal means obedient, quiet, useful. So if you feel out of place, and if the outrage feels rehearsed, if everyone seems absolutely certain about shit they clearly don't understand, if the whole world feels like a badly written script that nobody's allowed to question, good. because that discomfort is your brain showing you it's still fucking working. You're not broken. You're not crazy. You're not lost. You just refuse to let society shove its fist up your ass and work your mouth like a goddamn puppet. And in a world that runs on compliance, that makes you a problem, which is exactly why they want you to shut the fuck up. And that's exactly why you should not shut the fuck up. And so nonconformity, or why thinking for yourself makes you a social disease. Because let's get something straight right out of the gate. Society does not hate chaos. Society hates independence. And we're framing this in the term of YouTube weirdos. Chaos can be managed. Independence can't. Because an independent thinker just doesn't fuck up the rules. They expose the fact that the rules were always bullshit to begin with. And that makes people furious. See, conformity isn't about order. It's about control without effort. You don't need cops when people police themselves. You don't need force when fear does the work. You don't need truth when repetition gets the same fucking results. And so we've trained people early. Sit down, shut up, raise your hand, use the right words, think quietly, if at all. And for God's sakes, don't stand out. Standing out is dangerous. Standing out gets you labeled. Standing out gets you isolated. And humans will do anything to avoid isolation, even swallow a lie so big it gives them intellectual indigestion for life. And most people don't live examined lives. They live approved lives. They wake up, check what they're allowed to believe today, swallow it whole, and call it being informed. They don't have opinions. They have assignments. And if you don't complete the assignment, oh, now you're a problem. Now you're difficult. Now you're toxic. Now people start using therapy words that they don't even fucking understand to explain why you should shut the fuck up. Because dissent is not disagreement anymore. It's contamination. Nonconformists are treated like a virus, not because they're wrong, but because they're unpredictable. You can't herd someone who doesn't give a shit where the herd is fucking going. And that scares the hell out of people who built their entire identity on YouTube of trying to fit in. So let's be honest. Most people don't want freedom because freedom requires responsibility. Freedom requires thought. Freedom requires saying, if this goes wrong, it's on me. Fuck that. Most people want permission to believe, permission to speak, permission to hate the correct people without guilt. And that's why conformity spreads faster than the fucking truth, because it's easier. It's less complicated. You don't need courage. You don't need integrity. You just need good timing when you're a conformist. You wait, you watch the way the crowd is going to go, and then you sprint in the direction and pretend that you were always there from day one. That's not morality. That's social masturbation. That's what that is. And the angriest conformists are always the most fragile because their beliefs aren't built, they're borrowed. So any challenge feels like a personal attack to them. They don't argue ideas, they attack character. They don't defend logic, they defend belonging. Because if they're wrong, they just don't lose an argument, they lose their tribe. And without their tribe, they're persona non grata. They're nothing. Nonconformists, on the other hand, don't threaten society by being loud. They threaten it by being immune to bullshit. They don't need a consensus or a cult or a community to breathe. They don't need validation to exist. They don't need any group to tell them who they are. And that independence, that's radioactive. So society responds the only way it knows how. Ridicule, isolation, patholizing. You're crazy, you're arrogant, you're just trying to be different. Yeah, different from what? A room full of obedient jerk-offs playing ideological dress-up and calling it adulthood? And here's the cosmic joke. Every major advancement in human history came from people who refused to conform. And every one of them was treated like shit while they were alive. Then, after they're dead, oh, they were harmless, they were conveniently silent, and society digs it up and says, oh, we always valued independent thinkers. You value obedient thinkers with a radioactive approval stamp. Living nonconformists make you uncomfortable because they proved that you had a choice and you didn't take it. And that's the part that none of you can stomach, because deep down, most people know that they sold out a long time ago. Not for money, not for power, but for comfort, belonging, and everything else. For not rocking the boat, for not being the one that everybody whispers about. So they trade honesty for harmony, truth for safety, spine for approval. And they call it maturity. Nonconformity is not noble. It's not glamorous. It's not empowering. It's a lonely place to be. And it's sitting in rooms where everyone agrees and feeling like you're surrounded by fucking mannequins. It's biting your tongue until it bleeds just to avoid the bullshit and drama avalanche that is coming. It's watching people repeat nonsense with absolute confidence and realizing this is as good as it's going to get. But here's the payoff. And it's the only one that matters. You don't have to lie to yourself. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to chant. And you don't have to clap like a trained fucking seal for ideas, comments, thoughts, and faked outrage that you don't believe in. You get to look in the mirror and know that the voice in your head is actually yours. So if you feel out of place, and if the certainty around you feels fake, if the outrage feels scripted, if the rules feel arbitrary and the punishments feel insane, good. That means you're awake and you're still thinking. And in a world built on obedience, thinking is an act of rebellion, which is why they want you medicated, moderated, muted, and manageable. Because a nonconformist does not just refuse to kneel. They remind everyone else that kneeling was optional, and that's unforgivable. So stay inconvenient, stay difficult, stay suspicious, because the moment you stop thinking for yourself, you're not a part of society. You're just another obedient asshole helping it rot. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the internet basically being a psychiatric ward. Stay tuned on the Nonconformist Fringe podcast.
Jeff Canarsie, named sharp as a blade, walking through shadows where legends are made. Rat scatter, he don't play that game. Honor on his sleeve, blood pumps through the same. Joey tried to chirp, thought he'd test the throne. Jeff shut it down, stone meeting stone. Streets got rules, ain't no time for snitches. Code so clean, no room for glitches. No rats, no breaks, no folding, no cap. Living by the code, no turning back. Italian honor is carved in his veins. Jeff stands tall while the world complains. Cement shoes waiting for loose lips to slip. Hope sworn over wine, every word legit. Family first, but respect the grind. Step out of line, he'll rearrange your spine. Merlino thought he ran the set. Jeff reminded him who the streets respect. Whispers in the alleys, they all know the tale. Jeff, don't break, don't bend, don't fail. No rats, no breaks, no folding, no cap. Living by the code, no turning back. Italian honor is carved in his veins. Jeff stands tall while the world complains. Merlino thought he ran the set. Jeff reminded him who the streets respect. Whispers in the alleys, they all know the tale. Jeff, don't break, don't bend, don't fail.
And I'm sure after playing that, the trolls are going to go crazy. Oh, who does he think he is? Fuck you. All right, welcome back to the Nonconformist Fringe podcast. And we're going to talk about the internet being a psychiatric ward with Wi-Fi, because that's basically what the internet has become, especially fucking YouTube. And let me tell you something. The internet didn't connect people. That's the sales pitch. What it actually did was take every emotionally unstable, morally hollow, attention-starved lunatic on earth and handed them a goddamn microphone and a computer. No training, no screening, obviously no medication. Just, here you go, champ. Tell the world what you fucking think. And here's the part that nobody likes admitting. Most people never wanted to think in the fucking first place. Thinking's hard. Thinking requires doubt. Thinking requires the ability to shut the fuck up. And the internet punished that immediately. You pause, you disappear. You hesitate, you lose relevance. You scream, you get rewarded. You attack, you get rewarded. You dox, you get rewarded. So naturally, everybody started screaming. And YouTube is where everyone goes to fucking rot. It's not a platform. It's not a fucking community. It's nothing but a digital fucking asylum where the patients run the gift shop and the algorithm is the head psychiatrist. And all it's prescribing is fucking rage. Because rage keeps you clicking. Grief keeps you watching. And cruelty gets great engagement and donations. The algorithm doesn't know right from wrong. It knows up and down. Watch time, retention, shares, subscriptions. It doesn't see people. It sees behavior. See, before the internet, if you were truly an ugly human being, mean, obsessive, unhinged, you had certain limits. You could only ruin the lives of the people who lived near you, the people you communicated with, maybe your family, maybe a coworker, maybe a bartender who cut you off one night too early. There were consequences for those actions back then. Social friction, shame, the possibility that somebody would tell you to your face to knock it the fuck off. And those were natural restraints. Now you can attack a stranger's deceased children from another state while pretending you're doing research. Research. Yeah, like Joseph Mengele with a comment section. And here's the genius of it. You don't need facts. You don't need evidence. You just need suspicion. And suspicion is cheap. Suspicion is endless. Suspicion keeps the machine fed. And God forbids anybody dies, because death online is not sacred. It's content. That's what it's become. A dead child isn't a tragedy. It's a theory to you people. A grieving parent isn't human. They're a character. And a funeral isn't a moment of silence. It's a fucking upload schedule. Because nothing says respect like a monetized breakdown of those events. These people don't mourn. They circle like fucking vultures with Wi-Fi. Like hyenas with Patreon links. And they never ask, should we stop? They ask, what angle hasn't been covered yet? They attack families. They harass widows. They stalk siblings. They dox homes. They call where you work. They call CPS, the police, the FBI. And if anybody dares push back, they cry censorship. Because nothing terrifies these people more than losing access to someone else's pain and tragedy. And those are facts. And then, like a starfish shooting jizz out of its eyeballs, they say the magic words. Oh, I'm just asking questions. Yeah. Yeah, of course you are. An arsonist just like warm buildings. Let's stop pretending this is curiosity. It's bloodlust wrapped in self-grandiose importance. These people are not investigators. They're mentally ill narcissists who finally found a place where being cruel makes them feel smart and validated. And YouTube pats them on the head for it. Because cruelty scales. And the comments, holy shit. The comments are what happens when therapy is replaced by anonymity. You've got people diagnosing strangers, threatening children, accusing dead people of crimes, and they can't even defend themselves from it all. Or at all. And then they insist they're the good guys. And that's my favorite part. Everyone is doing the worst shit imaginable. They think that they're a fucking hero by doing that. Nobody ever says, I'm a monster. They say, I'm holding people accountable. Accountable to who? To you? A guy or a girl with a fucking webcam, a grunge, and a personality disorder? For Christ's sakes, YouTube didn't remove shame. It monetized it, in the absence of it. It turned the lack of empathy into a growth strategy. There's no pause, no reflection, no thought. Just, oh, will this get clicks? Will this make them cry? Will this make me feel better about me? Will this make me feel powerful for 5 seconds? And the algorithm nods its head and says, good boy, do it again. Again, again, again. And it keeps doing that until cruelty feels productive and empathy feels naive. And this is what happens when attention becomes currency. The poorest people on the planet are the ones starving for it. They don't want truth because the truth is slow. They want immediate validation, and validation does not ask questions. And when families beg for it to stop, when they say, please, this is real life, the internet responds, YouTube responds with its favorite insult disguised as advice. Log off. Log off? That's like telling someone being hunted to relax. And no, this isn't free speech. This is free sadism. That's what this is. It's cruelty without consequences, hatred without accountability, and mental illness dressed up as activism. We didn't build a global fucking village. We built a global fucking psych ward, removed the walls, and gave the loudest patients a fucking stage. And then we installed tip jars. And the worst part, this isn't the fringe anymore. This is the new normal. Attacking families is normal now. Mocking the dead is normal. Doxing is normal. And if you object to any of that, you're sensitive. If you ask for decency, you're hiding something. Because in a culture this fucking sick, empathy looks suspicious. Silence looks guilty. Restraint looks weak. Humanity looks outdated. So congratulations, humanity. We've got all the information in the world and the emotional maturity of a schoolyard bully. Because that's what all of this is. We took the most advanced communication tool ever fucking created and used it to become the ugliest version of ourselves. Not evolved, not enlightened, just louder, meaner, and people are proud of it. And don't kid yourself. This doesn't shut off when the browser closes. If you practice cruelty long enough, it becomes muscle memory. If you rehearse outrage long enough, the calm starts to feel threatening. You live in an accusation long enough, everyone becomes guilty by default. That's the long game. That's the long game. We're not creating informed people. We're creating addictive prosecutors or addicted prosecutors, always hunting, never listening, never fucking satisfied with anything. The internet just didn't lower the bar for behavior standards and morals. It buried it and live streamed the funeral. And when this whole fucking thing finally collapses under its own bile, when people look around and wonder why nobody trusts anybody anymore, they'll act shocked. They'll say, how did it get this bad? I love it when I hear people say that. Meanwhile, they've been in every other motherfucking chat in the world, participating in it. It got this bad because cruelty was rewarded faster than human fucking decency. Because being loud, being abrasive, being unhinged paid better than actually being right. Or being, I don't know, fucking nice. And the truth is, hurting people turned out to be easier than understanding somebody or having a conversation with somebody, understanding where they're coming from. Instead, it's fuck you and your mother and your dead kids and your dog too. I hope your dog gets AIDS from a raccoon high on angel dust. This is not progress. This is gut rot with a broadband connection. And until we stop applauding and accepting the ugliest fucking instincts in human nature, until we stop making engagement for this bullshit, the psych ward will stay open. Lights on, doors unlocked, patients in charge. Welcome to the internet. And that's just the truth. Now, digital Judas'S, friends, traitors, and algorithmic vampires, because that's what a lot of you are. So listen up. Friendship online? Yeah, that's a fucking lie. A total scam, a goddamn digital Ponzi scheme with emojis. That's all it is. Because here's the reality: every quote-unquote friend you have online is either harmless, boring, or plotting your humiliation. And the plotting ones, those are the digital Judas'S. They're smiling, nodding, oh, I got your back. Motherfuckers who are actually sharpening knives behind your ass while taking screenshots for later. Those people are not your friends. They're predators. They're cockroaches with Wi-Fi. They don't want connection. They want access to your life, your secrets, your missteps, and then they want to broadcast it like they're a fucking news anchor on meth. Oh, I didn't mean to hurt you. Bullshit. You smile at someone while digging the hole you're going to throw them into. You meant to hurt them. You just want to get likes for it. That's the bonus. Take away likes and monetization, half these people wouldn't do it because there's no reason for it. And digital Judas'S don't argue with you. They study you. They log your weaknesses. They track your emotional patterns like a fucking CIA operative. And when the time is right, bam! They upload your misery, your personal life, your fuck-ups, while tweeting motivational quotes like they're fucking Mother Teresa. Doxing? Check. Slander? Check. Defamation? Check. Dragging your name through the cyber gutter? Check. Smiling the whole time like a goddamn Cheshire cat? Fucking check. And here's the kicker. The mob loves it. The herd of sheep love this shit because everybody clicks on it. Everybody shares. Everyone laughs like this is some fucking reality show and you're just the latest contestant who didn't read the rules. Digital Judas'S are vampires, except instead of blood, they feed on trust, privacy, and human decency. They don't have empathy. They have algorithms. They don't have any fucking morals. They have analytics. And they don't give a flying fuck about you. All they care about is engagement and money. And that's just the truth. Oh, I didn't tell anybody to harass you, quote unquote. Of course you didn't. That's what the Judas whispers in the garden. Hey, I didn't hand him the sword. I just pointed at him. Yeah, and a bullet still kills people. And don't kid yourself. They aren't rare. They're everywhere in your DMs, in your comment sections, in your Discord channels, in your Patreon feeds. And when you finally realize it, it's way too late. You're already the next viral tragedy. And they're sitting back counting likes while you scrape yourself off the goddamn floor. They're cowards. They're manipulative. They're narcissistic, psychopathic, little screen zombies who measure their self-worth by the chaos and hurt that they cause. And the worst part of it, most of them don't even realize that they're disgusting. They think they're clever. They think they're heroes and truth seekers and truth tellers. They think the mob cheering for your destruction makes them heroic. Fuck them. And here's the real punch. The world enables them. YouTube enables them. They cheer for them. They share their garbage. They reward betrayal. Every click, every share, every fucking comment is a fucking high five to sadism. And when they're done, the clique or the cult moves on to the next target. And when the algorithm has had its fill, they vanish. They disappear. Oh, I'm being harassed now. Yeah, congratulations, Judas. You've graduated. You've destroyed someone and survived long enough to do it again to somebody else. And society, oh, they celebrate this shit. They call them influences influencers, truth seekers. They call them brave, innovative, forward-thinking. Bullshit. They are vermin with a pulse, leeches with a sense of entitlement, and fucking parasites wearing the skin of a friend. And you know what really pisses me off? These digital Judas'S, these smiling, backstabbing little motherfuckers, they don't care about you, me, or anybody else. All they care about is clicks, the chaos, the drama, and the crowd going nuts while they pour gasoline on someone's life. And the audience, they eat it up. They share it. They cheer like idiots at the fucking circus. Because watching someone else burn is easier than looking in the goddamn mirror and admitting that you're pathetic and obedient little sheep. Digital Judas'S are fucking everywhere. They're in every single group chat, every server, every fucking community there is. And I'm warning you, if you get too close, they're going to smile at you. They're going to laugh with you. They're going to flatter you. They're going to whisper sweet lies to you. And then they will fucking gut you and throw your life in the feed like a roadkill. And guess what? They'll do it again and again and again and again because YouTube rewards cruelty. The internet rewards betrayal. YouTube and the internet rewards empty human garbage masquerading as decent people. So here's some advice. The next time someone smiles at you online or asks, "How you doing?" or says, "I got your back," take a second, lean back, and remember this. If they've got Wi-Fi and fingers, they're probably sharpening the knife while smiling at your face. Their crowds will cheer, the algorithm will smile, and the Judas will laugh all the way to the next goddamn victim. And that, my friends, is humanity on display. Smiling, clicking, betraying, and calling it a connection. Congratulations, everyone, and welcome to fucking YouTube and the internet. That's all I have to say for today. If you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, and share. And I'm sure we'll be back with another riveting episode of the Nonconformist Fringe Podcast.